So, um, the military was doing this. The law says the communication is between one person. So to have anyone go to court and say that they were a structure or a beacon within the discussion is a lie, and that's what they're doing. They're having a person say that he was a beacon or a structure in the structural format of the military to protect the country, the people, or whatnot. That's how all the children died, and that's what's actually in the law. The law specifically says if the masses die, it's from a poser in court. Believe it or not, posing used to be a criminal action. You guys wore blue coats. We wore black slashes. And if you wore a black slash and you were
in a quarter mile at the traffic circle, take the first exit and stay on Massachusetts Avenue Northwest.
Identity theft itself, because everybody knows who everybody is. So so they confronted a justice is what they're getting at. They're saying they confronted a justice. Justice most likely said, fuck you, you guys are insane. You guys are crazy. And you guys are trying to murder by craziness. So I need to find the judge of the conversation you're talking with and support him. When he did that, the military was executing by execution, which basically either locked or finalized who needed to be executed. And yeah. And when the executing
exit the traffic circle onto Massachusetts Avenue Northwest.
Civil case,
continue on Massachusetts Avenue Northwest for 3 miles.
The law says though the justice understands what's being written and understands the guy's crazy and in a psychosis, he will write to the judge. He won't take physical action. So he had to be assaulted by the cop for him to take physical action, which the military executed for to catch. Imagine they have a fishing net and they're fishing for fish. The military executed so that way they would be in the position to catch that. But they didn't prepare for the crime of that. So when the crime happened, they issued outward, and the law says the person intentionally assaulted the justice in format to catch the assumption of court, so that way they could say, I killed all the children, whoever owned the civil case, which is impossible. The military, with police officer, tried charging me already and couldn't. The law says it's physically impossible for them to. Yeah. So when the cop heard that, he walked off. He was like, fuck that, this, it's a burnt mission, I'm out of here. So that leaves me with forced court, which lets Tier 1 of the military out of execution. It was just sent of execution. The criminal initiated themselves to be executed by a confrontation with police. So I try not to fight the police as much as possible, but every now and then it happens, but it proves I'm not a criminal on top of it. So Trump figured, so there's, so they don't want some definitions, I guess. But that's too bad. That's part of the law. So imagine two cars. Imagine you got a rope tied to the muffler of two cars. Two cars are backed into each other, and you're holding the rope, and the car goes to take off, and you try holding both ropes. I mean, if you were tied to the ropes, you'd be ripped apart. So Trump, one of Trump's crimes, well, the military was executing in this format, shoulder, shoulder, shoulder. Trump figured he would throw his persons. Yeah, he figured he would throw his persons in that ball and bring litigation. And as he heard the opposite, or as he heard the truth, he would process the opposite, or as he heard the opposite, he would process the truth and say he's the owner. But this crippled him. So I guess the litigation department said that he had to be the president because the president will be the criminal's a cripple, I guess, or something. Yeah. So when I'm like, you guys are a little crazy, you know, I just want my money, pay me, I fucking mean it. Like, you guys are, the justice took it to, I mean, it's very simple. The law says the judge explains it to me. So there's no theory that in court the judge will be able to make very short work of the whole thing and explain it very simplistically. But the bottom line is what the treasurer says. You know, you guys are just taking up time, killing each other, hurting each other, taking up more time to do it to another extent, which is dumb. I want my money.